Hi everyone, my name is Cristina Barros. I have personally firsthand have been able to witness a few parent-teacher conferences because I do work at a local charter school with teachers, and we do sometimes in the school we do come across students and families that primarily don't speak the same language as you. But I think overall the first things first is that communication between parent and teacher is very important. That's something that I feel that should be established with it in the first day of school. Parents, teachers should open the line of communication first, saying that if there's ever a problem, if you need help, or if you may not simply understand something, you're always more than welcome to come and speak to me as the teacher, because that's what primarily why the teachers are there for, to help the parents in any need for their overall child's education. Um, when designing parent-teacher conferences, what I've seen is that teachers are always preparing first. They always have to have a set reason of why they are meeting, and if it's from behavior, if it's from academic progress, if it's just simply just to see where their child is, just to keep them in tune or in line with where their child is academically. There's always a set of preparation, whereas having their homework to show to them, or if there's anecdotal records that you need to show, if it's a behavioral issue, just having things prepared to physically have something to show them. Because sometimes I feel like if you just sit there and just start to free talk, everything that you may wanted to say may not get across because you may forget, because you're so focused on one thing and you need to tell the parents more than one. Another thing that I believe is important with a family that doesn't necessarily speak the same language as the teacher, I always find it important maybe to bring the student in to the parent-teacher conference, just because the student understands the teacher by this point and can kind of help the parents understand what the teacher is trying to say. If not, if including a student is not something a teacher might want to do, or if it's a situation you don't want the child to know about, always I think administration, whether the principal, assistant principal, or a counselor who may know this family personally or know their situation, can help find a kind of a middleman to kind of help the teacher and the family have the communication that's important to come across this parent-teacher conference. Another thing that I believe is that in a parent-teacher conference, it's important to not only state the negatives, because you're there, the parent doesn't want to come into school and only hear the bad things about where their child is doing in school or what they are not doing correctly. It's always good to have a sense of balance. Always start with the positive, I believe, is a good thing, because so the parents feel like, okay, like my child is doing something correctly. Stating the positives and then stating the negatives, I believe, will kind of have a more overall effective parent-teacher conference. So yeah, those are just ways that I would do the parent-teacher conferences, just because I've personally seen them. I've been part of some just to observe. But yeah.